Well, welcome back, and you're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV International, and right now we will be meeting with director Fouad Sherbini. Actually, director Fouad Sherbini is one of the most important directors in the field of independent cinema. He directed around 10 short films as well as 3 short documentaries and 3 animation films. He worked a lot of jobs. He was a DJ, animator, an actor, a director. He produces his own works and so many other as well. He has passed through the various stages of the filmmaking, and right now we're happy to be with him. Welcome, Fouad.
I'm happy to. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome for you.
Fouad, we saw a part of the film The Shadow, I guess, or
yes,
the Shadow. Yes. Yep. What about your first participation in the Cannes Festival? How do you assess it?
I don't understand the question.
Yeah, this is actually you've participated several times.
Yes.
Yes.
What about your first participation in the festival? How was it? How did it feel for you?
Well, actually, the first of anything, you would be like, how's things going to be? Am I good? Am I not good? How's the competition going to be like? Did I do all of what I had to do, or there was something I needed to do more? This was my
nervousness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, you won several awards, because in 2013 you won an award for your film Murderer. In 2014 you also won for Kifaya, and then also this year you've won. Now,
and to 2014, I have 4
awards,
certificates.
Wow.
Yes.
So now, would you tell us about the difference? Do you feel that each round has been different than the other?
In the festival or in the
festival,
movies?
Of course, because I know your movies are different.
Thank you. In the festival, the first year, it was the first time for me to enter the festival, so I didn't know how to deal with how to put my movie, what needs to be done, and some of there are some curriculums in the festival I have to go by, so it was a little bit. I had to think a lot about it, but the second time I had more experience. The third time I had more experience.
Yes.
As any festival or as any work.
What about the film that we just saw, Adil or The Shadow? How did you work on it? Who were the actors? How did you assemble it in the first place?
This was done in February this year. The film, the script was very short. Talks about someone who is walking in the street, and then she hears a lot of harassment, sexual harassments, and then the guy tries to catch her, and she turns around, she finds that he's her brother. So this is the story and the script, and we started doing some practice on it. And then everybody knew his role, what he's gonna do. The crew was written, who is going to do what.
Yes.
And then we started shooting in Heliopolis, in the street. And then after we finished, we edited, and I entered the festival. And I was in the official competition of the festival.
Yes.
Of Cannes Festival.
Now, you usually tend to work with young or starting actors and actresses. So how do you direct them, and why do you choose always beginners?
I give acting workshops. So for me, to start with a beginner, it's easier and better. Because first of all, if he's a beginner, he's not going to be dealing with him is going to be easier. He's not going to have his own character, and he wants to do this way. He will listen to me. If I want him to act this way or act the other way, he will tell me, okay, we can do this, we can do that. If some things are missing, I can give it to him, as I can teach it to him. So it's easier and better to work with people who have not worked before, because they will listen to me more. This is the first thing. The second thing, they are friends, so they won't take money, because the independent filmmaking is independent. There's no one funding the movies or the issue.
Financing.
Yeah, there's no one financing it. Everyone financed it by his own way. For example, I have my equipment, someone other have his talent in acting, someone else has his talent in script writing. So in having actors who are beginners, it's easier to tell them there will not be payment or something. They will accept this.
Now, among the 10 short films, I know that you've done other stuff as well as video clips and advertisement, but let's concentrate on the short films right now. Among your 10 short films, which was the hardest for you to make?
13.
13.
Yeah, the movie
Why?
we talked about before.
Yeah, why?
Because this was my graduation project in the university, and then we had. I wrote this. There are two parts in the year. The first part we write the script, and the second part we start to shoot.
Yes.
After I finished the first part, I finished it early, so I started shooting before the second semester came. So I had material already, and then when the revolution came, two people from the crew had some issues, so they disappeared. So I already had material to rewrite the script to work with the material I have already, and then I had to put myself inside the movie to act, because I know I'm not going anywhere. So I know I would be there.
Yes.
So it was a quite challenge, and it took me a while. It took me 4 or 5 months doing the movie.
So you directed, as Rasha said, 10 about
10
short
movies,
films,
yeah.
3 short documentaries, and animation films as well. How did it all start for you?
It started in the university. First of all, I didn't know what university to go to. I used to work as a DJ when I was in my school, when I was 14 years old, and I was the school DJ. Any party that was done in the school, I did it. And then when I wanted to enter the university, I didn't know what university to go to. So I said, I don't want anything that deals with math or all this stuff, because I'm not very good in math and in numbers. So computer science and all of this stuff, I said I cannot go to. And then I like to work with my hands. I like to have something with talent or something. So medicine and the other stuff, I will be studying all of my life, and it's not like directing and acting and this stuff. So I had two choices. Either I go to tourism or mass communication. So I said tourism. If something happened, the tourism is going to fall. There is no money. There will be no work. So I went to mass communication, and I didn't know that I will be what I'm doing now. In my first year, a friend of mine grabbed me from my hand, and we entered the studio of the university. And this was the first time I acted, and the first time I entered a studio, and the first time to see anything. I started acting in the play in the university, and then from here things started. I started to take acting workshop. I started to do my first film. I started to gain more knowledge from self-reading and self-studying, and then from the studying from the university. And then I started to give my acting workshops. I gave my first acting workshop in my second year of university, and so on and so forth. And I worked in some channels, and this is how things started.
Yes.
Well, I'd like also to ask about the independent cinema now. Actually, now with all the commercial cinema going on, and actually the public are not into it as much. Independent cinema is the one that's representing us at the various international venues. Now, what's some of your problems?
financing.
Finance.
The biggest problem in independent filmmaking is financing, because any movie industry in the world needs finance, or any industry. Either it's not if it's something out of media, anything needs financing and payment and money to go in and go out. So in the independent short films, not a lot of people fund it, because it's not a commercial film. Yeah, it doesn't go into cinemas and people pay tickets for it, and then it goes into the television and the TV the channels pay money for it. It doesn't go in this cycle. It goes in another cycle, which is more in festivals and awards, and even if abroad, the same thing. Sometimes it can be shown in cinemas, but with no money or with no any financial issues. So that the biggest thing is financing. I think maybe sometimes one of the problems is the crew. A full crew with all of them having the full knowledge and all of them having the full capacity to work with no money. This is sometimes hard. Because some people say, why do I work with no money when I have the other work I could do with money? So sometimes having a full crew and connecting the crew with each other to make a movie, this sometimes is hard.
Yes, Fouad Sherbini, the film director, thank you very much for being with us today on Nile TV and on Nile Cruise.
Well, thank you again. And now it's time to enjoy rap music. It's time to meet with Express One. Actually, she's a lady. She's the first lady rapper in Egypt. She also is a rap poetess, as well as a choreographer, an actress, a dance tutor as well. And now let's enjoy together one of her video clips.